What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classic Climb blog. I know the camera angles, the sun's coming down, but I have to do this show because it's been on my mind as much as the marketing shows have been. And I think if you're in the Ride 20%, you guys should see the link for the class tonight. We come to the game late and then we do too much. Okay. This is the realness of this show. So this show is about Kristen Bell, and I may be saying her name wrong. Y'all can put her name in the chat. I mean, I don't want to slander, you know what I mean? She's in Bali. And if you pay attention, I just shared a video of hers in the community tab where she's talking about being in Bali. She's talking about how she was so tired of working her 9 to 5, even though she's 24 years old, and how she's waiting on a lawsuit to cash her out. So already you're hitting multiple flags. And so she's going to go overseas with her girlfriend, and they're going to go over there. And then they, of course, are going to create courses. And so, of course, she made the rounds. If you're in any of my marketing classes or any of my classes, I've talked to you about how you use YouTube and how you use Facebook groups and how you use Instagram to market your products and services. And the game I'm giving you is new, but it's also 7 to 10 years old. I'm just going to be very blunt. Things and tactics that I learned how to do in 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, they work. They still work to this day, and there's some tweaks to it now that she's doing and her girlfriend's doing now. But what I keep telling y'all is y'all come to the game late, right? You just figure out, oh my God, I can sell things online. Oh my God, Erica. And then you do everything out of order and it messes the game up. Now, here is what I mean. Passport Bros was popular about 5 years ago. Everybody get your passport. Everybody run overseas. Everybody live on $400 rent. Let's go ahead and do a blog about it. And we're going to blog about it. And we're going to sell books. This is 5-year-old game. This isn't nothing new. If you actually follow the projection of many of the Passport Bros shows and YouTube channels, they all have gone back to America, back to London, back to Australia, back to somewhere else, even Mexico. Now, Mexico is a great place, right? Because this pandemic shook them up and they were like, oh no, I want to be close enough to family, but far and cheap because I can't afford economically to stay in the United States. And so again, she's not the first. Kristen Bell, something to that effect, but I think it's Kristen. I shared her video in the community tab. She has a lady. Okay, that's how we're going to describe it because I don't want the YouTube Skynet masters to get me. She has a lady friend. Now let's go ahead and identify many countries outside the United States do not play games with the lady friends. Okay, they don't play games when you do that. Okay, they don't. Prime example, I'm gonna say this, and I'm not gonna say his name because I'm scared Skynet's gonna delete this video or give me a strike or something. But a long story short, a Bruce Jenner type young person from Skynet YouTube went over to Dubai. Now, I don't know if you know what Dubai is. Yes, Dubai is a very beautiful tourism place, but Dubai is a Muslim country. You are not going to come into their country dressed as one thing and your passport has a whole nother face on it. Because guess what they made old boy do? They took him in the back and told him to take it all off. I don't know what you're doing. And so, one, that's embarrassing. Two, that's scary because you don't know what's about to happen to you because they done made you undress in the back of an airport. Okay, their TSA is not playing with you. And so he basically was over there like, go fund me, help. I'm like kidnapped right now. Of course, Dubai is not kidnapping people like that. What Dubai did do is put him on a 72-hour hold in a very beautiful hotel. And he used all that time to be like, help me. I'm in Dubai and I'm kidnapped and go fund me and help. And so everybody's like, helping. Our United States Embassy is like, now, sir, you cannot come over here dressed like that. And your passport says Brian and it has a Brian face on it. You cannot do that anywhere. You would have been stopped in London. You would have been stopped in France. You would have been stopped in Germany. But you took it all the way to Dubai. And they have a right to take you in the back and take all your clothes off and look at you and make you feel embarrassed, which is sad. I feel sad for him. But then make you put on man clothes. They basically made him put on a pair of pants and a shirt take all the makeup off, walk out the airport, took them straight to a hotel, said, you got 72 hours on your dime to book your own airplane back. You're not going to be sitting in our airport. You're not going to be causing a scene. You're going to go to this hotel. You're going to stay in the hotel. You're going to get room service that you're going to pay for. And when you get back in this airport, you're going to wear man clothes. And if you don't, we're going to lock you up. That's your choices. So what you want to do? What you want to do? Other countries do not play like this. You're not going to go in other people's countries and play games. Now, I gave you that story. That was a long, detailed story about Dubai. And why did I do that? Because I just want you to understand that a lot of y'all are out here on YouTube and you think you can do what everybody else can do and you cannot. There was a British young lady, her boyfriend, her Asian boyfriend was in a country sharing hotel rooms. They were again in Dubai. Dubai play with Americans a little bit, but not that much. She got pregnant, so she walking down the street, pregnant with her Asian boyfriend. And Dubai was like, excuse me, where's your wedding ring? I don't have one. Excuse me, where is y'all married? No, we're not. Oh, guess what? You're going to jail. You're going to jail. And this is a British white woman and a Korean man. You're going to jail. Okay, so then they're like, no, we're getting married. We're married. See, we're married. Here, look, we're married. There's no paperwork that says you're married. So they sat in a very nice, cushy jail for a month before the embassy was like, hey, can you please? She's British. Can you please? Come on, she's pregnant and she's British. Don't do us like this. They don't need no canes. They don't know no beatings. Just come on, let's get them on out of here. Now they tried to give a little resistance and be like, well, we want to stay in the country because we have an apartment. Excuse me. British embassy said, get your A on that plane and go home. Don't say another word. Get on this plane. Now, you're going to say, Erica, why are you telling these stories? Why are you joking on these people? Because I want you to understand that this is everywhere else that y'all talk so bad about America is not America. You know, all this culture wars that we're talking about in America, all this talking back and running your mouth and doing all this stuff, kids don't do that over there. Husbands and wives don't do that over there. You're not going to fight in public. You're really not even going to hold hands too much in public in some of these countries. Okay? We don't run nothing outside this world. Okay? Do you understand? Okay? So don't do that now. Now, on the flip side, they like Americans. They like us. We have money. They come on in. We'll be nice. No problem. This young lady who is African American, if that's the word we want to use, black, and her black girlfriend, very slender, very skinny, thin, beautiful, young 20s, beautiful women, went to Bali. And let's be keep it a buck. Bali also does not play that. Now, they're not as hard enforcers as other countries, but they like, hey, no, don't do that, please. They're very kind. Now, she decided to make a YouTube channel. Thank you, Sam Q, for the $5 super chat. She decided to make a YouTube channel. I've shared her videos in the chat. But her whole marketing strategy is the prime example of why I'm trying to teach y'all ways to do these things. Her marketing strategy is like, me and my girlfriend, very key word, girlfriend, is over here in Bali, not doing the law, which is go out every 30 days and get, go out of the country to come back with a visitor visa or apply for a type of residency, citizenship. We're not even doing that. We're not even going out of the country every 30 days. We've been over here for a year and and we're going to be over here and I'm going to teach you how you can get here to Bali and do the same illegal thing too. This is on her ads, y'all. This is said all over her YouTube videos. I can show you multiple of her YouTube videos where she said clearly that they don't follow the law and they will not keep flying in and out the country because they don't got time. And honestly, let's keep it a buck because they don't have the money. There's been several YouTubers who, if you pay attention to them, they black and in Bali, they're saying, hey, I don't have money. The pandemic, I don't have money to fly in and out the country. Now, Bali, Bali ain't never going to turn down no good dollars because right now, Bali is hurt because of the money, right? Bali's like, okay, like this is Bali. Like they see you over here, black man and black woman. I'm the YouTubers I'm thinking of, and they're ignoring you because they know, right now it's a pandemic, baby. We don't want you to leave and not be able to come back. We want want your American dollars, but we don't want you to be too out there with it. Does that make sense? Sometimes somebody lets you get away with something and you just got to be quiet. See, this is the rules of the game. Like, we don't tell every secret, right? Every time you go on these people YouTube channels, and the number one complaint of people is like, y'all not giving the free game. Y'all not giving the free game. I'm a bum and I want the free game. That's why you can't have the free game, because everybody don't know how to act right. Now, you done took yourself over to Bali. You ain't got no money in your pocket. You and your girlfriend took the last of your shillings and went over there to Bali with your shillings, and you got a place. Great. That's the game. You take lots of photos. You show all these photos of you and your beautiful girlfriend not touching. Okay. Keyword, not touching, in Bali, living your best house. Okay. And then you say, hey, buy my book, my $30 ebook for the game. Now you're going to say, well, Erica, that's the slow way. That's the boring way. That's the whatever. There are several, Gloria. I don't want to name people because I don't want people to be mad. I'll put their name in this video, but there are several of them who've done that, and they make about $3,000 a month. And guess what? They're in their country, Maldives, Italy. They're in Serbia. They're in Czechoslovakia. Well, not Czechoslovakia anymore. Koto, Montenegro, Ukraine. They're over there. Poland. Poland don't really like us at all. Poland want to beat everybody's legs. But okay, so you over there, you making your shillings from selling your online products. That's fine. But don't do Facebook ads telling people how you breaking the law. What part of the game is this? Everybody knows the passport bro game is just showing photos. You surrounded by women. You ain't sleeping with none of them women, but you showing photos. Okay, that's how you do it. That's the game. Now, people are going to try to convince you, well, Erica, it's because they're gay. They're kicking her out the country because she's gay. That is not true. Bali is literally taking snapshot after snapshot of her Facebook ads. They're taking snapshot after snapshot of her saying things that are inappropriate, of her telling you illegal ways to do things. These are all things you could have kept in your private Facebook group and Bali wouldn't have known. Do you see what I'm saying, y'all? The stuff y'all do is because you're late to the game. All right, now I'm not trying to get fussy with it, but I just want you to understand. A lot of us, we realize, oh my God, I can sell online money. I can do all this stuff online. I'm gonna do it and take a leap. But you got to understand, a lot of these people that you see, these passport bros doing this stuff, they had barely anything on their credit. They didn't have a bunch of Hellcats. They didn't have a bunch of Dodge Chargers. They didn't have, they mama with a name on a utility bill somewhere. They had barely anything on their credit. They got a couple credit cards, and then they took it overseas. And that's how they're doing their blogging and their lifestyling. And a lot of them, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm in a bunch of classes and masterminds, and a lot of these people are making $2,000 to $5,000 a month. And when I'm in there talking about how much I make, they're like, well, damn, girl, you should be doing this and doing that. I'm like, no, I'm in America. I can't be renting Lambos all the day. I can't be doing that. I have to actually live in America. Some of y'all live in $400 spaces that look amazing, but I actually pay real American dollars. Do you see what I'm saying? So again, go check out Christian Gray, however you want to say her name. I put her video up in the community section, and she's gonna turn this thing on Twitter. She's already started doing it, that they kicked us out of Bali. And they kicked us out because we're LGBTQYSTZ. Okay? Sam Q, tell them. Went to Kenya. My Kenyan girl changed her shorts because of the culture. They were fine by American standards, but she was like, I can't get away with that here. If you go to look up videos of the, you can go see O'Shea's videos. A lot of these people in Africa are wearing pants. Now you're like, it's Africa, it's hot. They're wearing pants. Why? Y'all not out there showing your legs. That's not acceptable everywhere. Right? Even in South Africa, where unfortunately rapes are very high, they're very anti-LGBTQYEZFLOFG. They're very anti. You're not going to go over there and do nothing over in South Africa. They beating people. Okay? They're not playing it. Okay? So I just want you to understand that a lot of these areas where Muslim culture is dominating, you're not going over there acting up, even in Israel. And a lot of people are like, oh no, Erica, I've been to Tel Aviv Beach. Yeah. Our church goes every year to Tel Aviv. But Tel Aviv Beach is a whole nother animal. Okay. They got the everything over there. But the rest of Israel, you're gonna act like you have sense and you're gonna cover your shoulders. And I strongly suggest you put on pants or long shorts. I don't mean those booty shorts you see on these YouTube fitness channels. I mean to your knees, and they're still called shorts. Right under your kneecap, and they call shorts. There you go. Even in South Korea, you're not supposed to show shoulders. You're not even supposed to wear yellow. In South Korea, my friend is a big fan of yellow. She's black and she married a Korean man, and he looked at her like, if you don't get rid of all this bright ass yellow, what are you wearing this yellow for? I can't remember what was the exact reason, but there's something about the color yellow that's like, no, that culturally that's not the game, right? So she would wear yellow places and people would be just staring at her. She's like, they're staring at me because I'm black. And I'm like, no, it's probably because you're wearing yellow, right? But you don't know those things unless you know people in those countries. Thank you for supporting the channel, Sam Q. Why am I talking to y'all about this? Because I understand the pressure. You see people out here making a lot of money online, and you're like, Erica, I want to make online money. And I want you to too. But I want you to do it in the right way. And I want you to really build up a tough skin, because the other day I was posting all kind of stuff to Twitter. And this girl was mad with me. She's, because I'm talking about, listen, why do most people go get a better job? Right? Why do most people go get a better job? Why do people turn to becoming online YouTubers, whatever? Because the job they at sucks sometimes. Because it's stressful. Even if you see some of the engineer channels and the coding channels and the software developers, they're so stressed out sometimes from their jobs. And you're like, man, you're getting paid 180 grand a year. Why are you stressed out? Because jobs are stressful. That's just the nature of life, right? And so people come onto the internet and want to sell you the game. And I understand it, okay? Because it's easy. Online money, liquid money is easy. Digital products, it's been easy forever, and you solve people's problems, okay? But don't be in such a hurry because you're already late. Let me be very careful how I want to say this. A lot of you are already late to the game, and now you're trying to jump ahead of. You're like, I need $10,000 in sales the first month out the gate, Erica. If I could tell you how many consulting calls, and I mean, they've spent the $1,000 for the hour consulting calls I've had, where I've had to talk people off a ledge, like, baby, you're not gonna make 10 racks on racks on racks out the gate unless you're selling a $10,000 course of one person by the month. There's a way to do things. There's a way to build something up. There's a way to layer your income. There's a way to stack and build your credibility. The reason so many people, and there's a book called The Speed of Trust. The reason so many people don't trust you and don't want to spend money with you and don't validate your social proof is because you're coming across thirsty, you're coming across fake, and you're coming across rushed. And why are you coming across that way? Because you feel late to the game, right? I was talking to somebody, they were 24 years old, and they're like, man, I just got to do all this stuff. And I'm like, baby, you 24. You got a little bit of time. Like, it ain't over. You ain't dying tomorrow. But when you realize that you are a little late to certain knowledge, you get a little greedy. Okay? So you got to calm down a little bit. And skills matter. The reason I keep going on Twitter saying a lot of y'all want to go to YouTube, you want to sell online courses, because you've been in jobs and they suck. The reason people don't stay in minimum wage jobs is because they realize, well, shit, I can do, if I'm doing all this for $15 an hour, $12 an hour flipping burgers, $15 an hour at Chick-fil-A, I can go be in an office and make 28, 32, 35, 40 bucks an hour, right? Part of something I've been trying to get y'all to understand is a lot of these online courses, people out here buying every course under the sun and ain't taking no action. It's ridiculous. There are several people I want to bring on the channel as the next 2 months go on. One young man, he went and bought a box truck at 20 years old. Went to college semester and a half and was like, this ain't really it. This ain't hitting. Watched a lot of YouTube videos. Was like, oh, let me get this first box truck. But his first mindset was, I can hire my family. Now, many of you are like, well, I ain't hiring none of my family. I ain't doing that. No, I ain't, I ain't working with my cousin. I ain't working with my cousin Billy, Bob, Joe, Dickum, and all them. And that's fine. That's fine. And that's why other cultures do what they do, and that's why we don't, right? So he went and got a box truck. Well, by the time he got the ninth box truck, none of his family members work for him. And he's making the bulk of the money. He's paying them a paycheck on Friday and keeping it pushing. And keeping it pushing. And now he's got like 20 box trucks or something to that effect. And he's only 24. Now, many of you are going to go, well, but I'm 38 and I should be doing this because I'm 38 or I'm 40 or I'm 45. And a lot of you have the energy of entitlement that because you've got kids, because you got a house, I can't do any of these side hustles or side ideals, Erica, unless it's paying me 20 grand a month. Baby, that's not my problem. Everything you do is not going to pay you 20 grand a month. You're trying to find a good reason why you don't want to start over. And that's just the truth of it. Now, this young lady, she can learn from this. If I was her, I'd write a whole book on how I was kicked out of Bali. I'd write a whole book, and I would be honest. I wouldn't play the LBGQYZF card. I play the card of, I try to start a business online, and you have to be careful about what you say online. That's it. That's it. Right? You know what I mean? And so anyways, the thing of it is like when people, prime example, the welfare to work programs, the welfare program gave you a free class for 6 weeks. I don't care what's going on at your house the past 6 weeks. Okay. That's not my problem. But what you need to do is get in this truck and get to driving. That's it. Earn your shillings, earn your position, earn your point. This is what it is. Oh, thank you, Prince Diamond, for the $50 super chat. Refresh the screen if you're having problems. Hey Erica, happy new year. Wish me a happy birthday. Hashtag Capricorns, we are the GOAT. Thanks. People born in January and February, they're dangerous. That's what I heard. She said this woman needs to get on the network morning show. Oh yeah. I mean, like, again, she's gonna milk this story for all it's worth, that she's just an American woman with her girlfriend in those countries trying to live her American expat dreams, and that they kicked her out of the country for tweeting. When we all know that's not why they kicked you out of the country, boo. We all know. But she'll milk it. She will milk it. Everybody give Prince Diamond a happy birthday in the comments. Help give Prince Diamond a happy birthday in the comments. Do it. He deserves a happy birthday for his $50 donation. I hope a lot of this makes sense to y'all. And I get that you want to start online businesses, but there's ways and rules to the game. And it would have helped this woman to, I've seen her in a lot of groups posting about her travels to Bali, and she was doing it the right way. She was posting YouTube videos. They had a lot of views. She was in Facebook groups. She was doing a lot of the legwork. But when she ran them ads, and I get it, you want to get ads that get people's attention, that was too much. And that's the problem. A lot of people out here are, they're doing too much. And they mess up the game for everybody else. Whether it's trucking, whether it's diabetic strips, medical commodities, skinny tea, whatever it is, people be out here doing too much because they feel behind. And I don't want you out here getting kicked out of countries because you're trying to do something crazy. This is not going to work, right? So even prime example on 90 Day Fiance, I put in the chat, the dude's 46 years old with this 28-year-old woman from overseas. The only reason she's going with him is because she's gay. And she's like, I can't be gay in here. My family members will hate me. Right? And so there, so she's only going with this guy who's American to do what? Come to America to have a girlfriend. So the oppression that people are feeling in those other countries is not fake. It's real. It's not fake. And so I think when we talk about leaving America and, oh, America's getting on my nerves, that's fine. But take your American attitudes up out of there because it ain't even no joke. Yeah, she was in Clubhouse. I mean, she was in a lot of places promoting it and getting herself in trouble. That's what she was doing. In Korea, you can't even have tattoos. Um, Middle East is a different beast. They are. Better invest in some capris. Scuba. Yeah. It's something about yellow. I can't remember what the rule was. Can't even read. When in Rome, that's right. Americans is just so bad, but only if they knew how much freedom we actually. And Kingston James, here's the funny thing. Yes, we're losing a lot of freedoms every single day of the week and twice on Sunday in America. We have police going way too far in every single neighborhood, right? But if you actually go over to countries where the police are just standing out on the corner, you go to Peru and you're like, what's going on? Oh, they rob people like left and right in Peru. It's worse than anywhere in America. The robbery and the stabs in Peru. But you don't see that. All you see is like, look at the mountains in Peru. Look at the sweet people of Peru. You see, y'all don't really be out here in these Reddit chats and these sub things and actually looking at real stats of what's going on in those countries. People just have this desire of escapism, this wanderlust that I'm only making $3,000 a month, but you know, $3,000 a month, I'm gonna live like a king in Spain in a $300 apartment. I'm gonna live like a king in Portugal in a $400 apartment. I'm gonna live like a king in the Philippines for $200 a month. You know what I mean? Like people are so pressed financially and don't want to get more skills, which is ultimately the problem, that they're like, yeah, I'm gonna make this online money. I'm gonna go over there. I make all this online money. I'm gonna do this and that. And you're like, ugh. Now, Don Tomic, I can't say what you just said, but you know. But that's just it. They're already going. You know, here's the thing. If I was someone who was LGBTQYZF, I wouldn't even step foot in Dubai. I wouldn't even play those games. If I was said person, I wouldn't step foot in many of those Middle East countries. I just wouldn't even. And had a significant other you're bringing with you, y'all playing with your life. Okay, you saw what they did to old boy in North Korea, tearing down posters. We're like, what are you doing in North Korea? Ain't nothing there to see. Like, keep it moving. Even a little bit of cleverness. I think you meant chest is too much in Japan. Yeah, yeah. There are several people. If you go watch the Black in Japan, one of the women said she was so surprised at how many people touched her. Like Japan is safe, but she's been groped on the train multiple times. She's been groped in public places, and she's just shocked. So again, you may say, well, they're safe. They don't got murders. They're not shooting each other because they don't have guns. They groping people. Okay, so I mean, you may say, well, what's the big deal about groping? Have you ever been groped? Yeah, it ain't the deal. It's not the deal. Oh yeah, I'm on Twitter cutting up. I'm surprised. I know it just is what it is. That country they don't like certain colors. I can't remember what the reason was. Really? That's crazy. I was worried about you, but I know what you said. You can't wear camouflage in Barbados. It's only for law enforcement. Well, think about it, Jacqueline. If someone came over there wearing camouflage and robbing people or making people pull over the side of the road because people think they're military or law enforcement, yeah, yeah. I mean, there's so many ways this can go wrong. Half of those people don't even have enough money to support the ad spend needed for a 10K month. Big money growth. If I could just, I mean, basically, I'm in several groups, and the first thing they do is like, let's get you these credit cards so you can ad spend. Let's get you these credit cards so you can do this program or this or that. When really the program should say, if you're not making $5,000 a month already, this ain't for you. Instead, a lot of these programs are just gonna be like, hey, let's get you some credit cards and get you doing this. So, and let me be very clear on the credit thing. I'm in one group, and this lady posted where she had all these collections, and every collection was a little trick from credit gurus 2 years ago. She had a what do you call that? She had a couple different store cards. She had a bunch of cards that were like 200, $300. And everybody's like, why do you have all these collections? And she's like, well, I was trying to pop my credit up and I got one credit card out of the whole thing that was unsecured. The rest were a bunch of store cards. So she could not even pay her $200 store cards. She could not pay her $200, little trick cards, to get them up there to make your credit score pop. So she really, credit is not her problem. Income is her problem. There was a young lady in one of the groups saying she wanted to repossess or turn in her car that was $563 a month payment. And people said, what's the interest? 24%. I'm just living and I'll learn. Baby, it's too late. You in that car. She's like, I work at Target full time, but I'm a student full time. And I'm like, okay, sounds like you need another job. Figure out your school schedule, but you need another job. Or you need a part time something. $563. That sounds like you're gonna be Ubering all weekend and take that money and pay your car every time on the dot. And people are like, well, they're starting with disadvantages in life. And again, I get it. Some of us are late to the game and we made a bad decision. You just have to work through those decisions. Oh, Jack Dorsey deleting everybody. Your brass restricted mode. Okay, fit girlism. I do business in Canada, but most of those contacts are Chinese. I have learned so much about what is and what is not offensive in Pacific Northwest China, and that's North America. Listen, again, like this is true. You do, and see, people don't even look at the fact that we've got a cousin or two out here that I was like, how much is this cargo van? Oh, it's 11,000. He just can't afford it. I was like, well, I'll buy the cargo van, put him on loads, pay him every bit of the week, and if he sticks with it for a year, then he can buy it from me. And that's the thing. We're not even in a position where we can like small stuff. You know how much people spend on cars, and a used cargo van was 11 grand. Yeah, it's a lot of energy of entitlement. I mean, it's just it's crazy to me. It's just absolutely crazy. Erica Williams, I'm gonna be in Waco Thursday to Saturday late afternoon. Hazmat like Nick Taylor, I'm in North Carolina, boo. Don't you see these trees behind me? Texas ain't got trees this tall, except for in the crazy east part of Texas. I am in North Carolina. I'm trying to make sure y'all don't be out there pew pew pewing. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I mean, I don't even think it was a great car. I think it was like a Honda. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm trying to get people to understand is like you're late to the game, you understand you're behind, but you start getting on this crazy level pressure. Like last year I wanted to go to Bali and people were like, well, I don't want to go to Bali unless I'm there for 2 months. And really what it was is they could not afford 2 plane tickets for the cost in a 30-day period. That's just the problem. Listen, I'm out here in North Carolina. I'm near a military town. And listen, my mom was driving in traffic. I was like, girl, watch out. Old girl trying to get that check off you. You better watch out. They'll hit your car and try to get that check. Japan has trained cars only for women because groping was so bad. I'm telling you. I'm telling y'all, it's bad over there. People try to go like, oh, Japan is just so better, so better. Japan and Korea, the women, the culture, they're so submissive. They're so submissive because men are groping them all day. Sure, if you say so. I have been to Japan. It was love and hate like anywhere else. I mean, that is the stigma of America follows you. But again, pay attention, folks. You are. I'm sorry. You're playing with your life. They're not playing with that. And here's the thing in America, there's some restraint. If we're in public and you want to act wild and you punch me, I may punch you or shoot you back. You have a high probability of getting shot. Now in London, in the UK, which just has the highest murder rate by stabbing in the world, the first world or whatever you call it, in London, you have a high probability of getting stabbed. So you might want to just no. You might want to shut your mouth. Oh, honey, we already know. I mean, this is the problem. We go to other countries, we come in there, we act wild, 90 Day Fiance, yeah, all that stuff. We be out there acting crazy. Starbucks money, I miss Fort Bragg, but I don't miss Fayetteville. Was stationed in Korea for a year in the 80s. Yeah, I mean, listen, and even now that I'm in Fayetteville, it's so cleaned up, it's so tame. But you hear people, it's so dangerous. And I'd be like, where? Ain't no, all the wildness of the 90s and the 70s of Fayetteville, those people are old or moved on now. Now we just have all the moms who whine all day about there's not a lot to do. Thank you for the Starbucks money, Nick Taylor. What's up, South Carolina? Speaking of Twitter, along with Facebook, they lost 51 billion in revenue after dumping Trump. They gonna lose a lot more. They're gonna lose a lot more. I mean, it's coming in various ways. And so this is why I'm talking. If you're in the right 20% class, if you're in the middleman to millions, if you're in my YouTube class, there's so many ads that I watched over the past week, and I took screenshots, and we're going to talk about it in class on Wednesday. You almost have to get online at this point, have a lot of social proof, and run ads to be viable. I mean, you can do a lot of the free stuff, but it's going to take time, and that's just it. Nobody wants to do the free stuff that takes time because they're already behind the 8 ball. They sat on an ideal for a year and a half, didn't do nothing with it, and then finally decided to do something. That's all. That's the problem we're facing right now. Thank you so much. Thank you, Demetrius B, for the 1999 super chat. Hey, just stopping by. Thank you for sharing my video. Your content is needed and appreciated. For sure. I just finished talking about the box truck. I loved it. It was good. I mean, here's the thing. I can go on YouTube all day, and I made this very clear in Twitter, and I'm probably going to get kicked off Twitter. Instead of, like, right now you have this boom in relationship channels. You have this boom in travel, how to get out of America. This boom in how to build a cabin in the middle of the woods. This boom on how to catch a man, kind of type channels and beauty channels, because people are looking to each other for a come up. Let me say that again. You have this rise in fitness, this rise in beauty, this rise in look good and get a man channels, and these women out here trying to get you channels, because people are looking to each other for a come up. They're like, man, if I just go get him, I can get a come up. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to change. I don't have to be a better person. And that's what these people are doing. I'm just going to go to Bali with my bad habits, my bad attitude, the bad things I've started and continue to do, and it's going to solve all my problems. I'm going to go hide out in Bali for a year. I'm going to go hide out in Thailand for a year. I'm going to go hide out, and I'll say this, and this is terrible. There was a guy at our church. He was a weirdo. Just was. He's autistic, but he's a highly functional engineer. And he taught English for a year in Japan and a year in Korea. Could not secure a woman to bring back. He's here in America, met a really weird, she's also weird, and she says she's weird, girl who is engineering, exchange student from China, and they got married, and they're very happy. And what people don't understand is moving somewhere else does not create a new you, right? It may open your eyes, right? You may go home, move from your hometown, and get a new perspective on life. But in order for you to get anything out of it, you're going to have to do new things. Okay? And it's going to take time. Doing new things take time, right? Working out every day at the gym. Sometimes you're in the gym, you see people in there, they look fit. Oh, they must be on steroids. Not necessarily. They've just been giving it time. They ain't got nothing to do every day, so they go to the gym every day, right? So whatever it is, health is important to them. So that's part of what my whole thing is. Don't give everything away in effort to make sales. Don't be overseas and some cool little trick and you put it out on the internet, because not everybody's gonna know the same trick. Same thing happened with credit repair. Same thing happened with Navy Federal. Everybody signing up for Navy Federal. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, take your time. Everybody's leaving California, right? And the problem is, why did they go to California? Right? I shared a video in the community chat. The girl got there because what? She wanted that Hollywood vibe. They got there, realized there's not that Hollywood vibe, and they want to leave. Right? So again, it's a lot of those people are leaving because it's popular. And I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say this. Ruti Gutierrez has a video coming out on why he sold all his stocks before the 2021 inauguration. A lot of people are leaving California and leaving New York for a reason. I'm just gonna be very clear with you. If you were trying to transition a major transition in life, you need to get where you want to go. Wherever that is. If you want to be overseas, you want to be in Bali, you want to be passport bros for the next year, if you want to be in the van life, if you want to be in the cabin in the woods, you want to be wherever, you need to get there. You need to get where you're trying to go. Because what ends up happening is you wait too late. Now you in a rush and you make not good decisions. So some of the best and brightest and smartest minds have left California and New York. I'm not going to argue with the best and the brightest minds leaving somewhere. I'm just not going to do that. You know what I mean? You pull from that what you want. But I'm not going to argue with people. Oh, yeah, I've been living, all the people that are broke leaving California. No, that's not right. Exactly. See, Knight Rider, the truth of it is, the scary part is there is a community of Black people who are out in Bali and have big YouTube channels. And there's one girl, she's even building a house so she can Airbnb out rooms in it. And I'm like, you are making it dangerous, right? You're making it dangerous for other people in those areas. I'm telling you, Brittany, so I think tomorrow I have on someone who's going to be talking about auctions, talking about investing in trucks, talking about investing credit business, all that tomorrow. On Thursday, I have someone teach you how to be a VA for these companies, because some of y'all are not going to want to go back to these offices, right? Learn how to do things the right way. Learn how to be a VA and make it work to your benefit. If you want to stay home with your kids, you need a skill, right? On Friday, I have someone talking about Dallas, Texas, why everybody's moving there. He's a city councilman. He is a renowned real estate agent, owns his own brokerage. I'm bringing on several people because I want you to be prepared. We're late to the game. We already know we late to the game, but I don't want you doing things like this young lady who got enough sense to go on Clubhouse, go in these Facebook groups, go and put together a good YouTube channel, but do too much. Kissing on the pictures, knowing they in a country that don't allow that. Telling people you can do illegal stuff in the ads. Like these people are not watching you in this country occasionally. It's just like the squeaky wheel gets the oil. That was very stupid. No, you don't talk about Florida like that. Y'all don't talk about Florida like that. Don't do it. Listen, Nick Taylor, the house, I've put bids in for 4 months, Nick Taylor, for houses in Austin. And literally California folks have come in with cash. And I'm not talking about, I'll just put it out there. These are $400,000 to $500,000 houses. These are $500,000 houses. They don't even build that many of those. But literally that many California people are like, yeah, I got cash. She want to keep going back and forth. I got cash. And be like, no, wait, girl, I live here. What you doing? So again, when people tell me, oh, nobody but broke people leaving California, that's not true. It's not all people just trying to get a $200,000 house and squeak by. These are some people who are dropping $500,000 in cash, leaving California to get a house in Texas. And I'm not even in the city of Austin. I'm like in the suburbs, like going out to the edges. But again, a lot of the tech jobs are going north, and people don't understand that till they get to Austin and be living downtown and be mad because they got an hour commute. Well, duh, it's up north. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. I apologize. Charlotte, North Carolina. Oh, yep. This is what I'm saying. I really want to say this young lady's very, lucky she didn't go to jail. She has enough internet sway, right? She's very public, and I think if she'd have went to jail, it would have been bad for Bali. What you don't understand, Bali is like very dependent on tourism. And after the volcano and after this whole virus last year, they got hurt. Like they need all these American Instagrammers coming back. And so they can't be putting people in jail. You know, that'll mess up the flow. They just gonna deport you. And hopefully you go home. Yes, I have classes on YouTube. There is a YouTube class. It's in the description, or any of the people, any of the moderators can put it in here. Unfortunately, yeah. Unfortunately, the VA, all these places, people think they can do it. No, I mean VA is in virtual assistant. I know, not the VA. Like VA is in virtual assistant. I'll put that in the title. She made the block very hot over there. Russell Simmons is in Bali on a spiritual retreat in the middle of all these lawsuits, these sexual lawsuits. So she is making Bali very hot. A. Williams, I'll do that on another day. I'll probably go maybe put it on my stock channel of like why I think people are going to do that and what I think the future is. I think that's what I'm going to do and put a separate video over there. Oh, Texas is like, you know, when I meet people who are I mean, like Instagrammers, YouTubers who are like leaving other cities and buying houses in cash, YouTubers that you didn't think have no money, Texas is like, whoa. Um, California is getting hurt. When you have people who are moving to Frisco, ain't never been to Dallas, they moving to Frisco, $500,000 houses, YouTube money, yeah. California is like, California doesn't realize how bad it's about to be hurt. And you're like, oh, Erica, that's just an Instagrammer. That doesn't matter. It does. The proximity factor. If you watch my previous videos, why is everybody in Bali right now? Because it's just so if they got in before the virus, and there's Jabril and some of his crew is over there for the next 5 months just hanging out, working. You can get these really big villas at an even stronger discount because of the virus last year. You can go to parts of Mexico and be in a massive 6-bedroom house with a chef and a cleaning crew for, a couple $100 a night. Stuff that would cost you thousands of dollars anywhere else. This is why people do that. And those countries expect that money to come in. So when people try to play like YouTubers and Instagrammers and that online life doesn't matter, no, you have whole people. There's a couple, if I can share a video on them in the community tab, I will. They left Texas. They have a whole little franchise they made. I just made it up. And they picked up and left to Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee. They're in near Austin, Texas, and left for Nashville, Tennessee. Big old nice farmhouse on Instagram. And they have family in Texas and California. And they're like, yeah, we gone. So you gotta really gotta come on, people, you gotta be paying attention. That's why I tell people y'all not paying attention to, and you're gonna say, well, why Nashville? New Yorkers, capital investors moving there. Why Texas? Capital investors, tech business owners, money is moving. And if you don't pay attention and you're not paying attention to where the money's moving, you're already late. I mean, I made a post on Twitter. The plane's leaving the runway and we inside the airport eating tacos, not even realizing the train's leaving. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm telling you, we're really not short of money here. We're like if I can, like I really, I want y'all to understand that I came here to North Carolina to finish some personal business and be with my family because I didn't know what the inauguration was gonna pop off. I'm ready. Like I'm ready, but just in case y'all do something crazy, there are people selling 100 acres here for $95,000. And I'm telling my family, they're like, "Ooh, that's expensive. That's way out there. It's 30 minutes outside of town. You could build a whole community, a whole development, sell all the houses." You sometimes have to move away to see opportunity and also be patient. Listen, I'll share the video in the chat. Let me see. They do. They do. You live in Nashville? I'm telling you, money flowing. Where the money resides. Listen, there's a $30 trillion wealth transfer happening over the next 8 years. 30% of it will be family offices. I'm trying so hard to wake as many people up as possible, but I know I can't wake up everybody, so I'm not even gonna try. They buying up Frisco. They buying up Frisco. I almost went up there. I was like, man, I like these houses. But one of the builders started coming into the Austin, Cedar Park, Liberty Hill area, building up the same type of homes. And I'm like, how often are you in downtown Austin? How often are you in the Domain? Probably better to be closer to the Domain. Oh, Nick Taylor. When someone says dry snitch, y'all, Nick Taylor is a veteran, a business owner. Dry snitch, Nick Taylor is when you're telling on somebody. Someone put dry snitch in the channel. That's so funny. Y'all put the Urban Dictionary definition of dry snitch. It's kind of funny. Yeah, super cheap. So Cortez Marker, Atlanta's going to have a lot of what Atlanta currently does, but a lot of Atlanta money is also going to Nashville. It's also going to Chattanooga, right? Getting that land, making that money stretch. It's also going to, I'm not going to do a whole map of cities that are going to blow up, but if you're in Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina will eventually catch up. Texas and Colorado right now. Utah's getting a lot of play too. If you in those places, you better be buying something. You better have some land. You better be invested. You better start going to meetings with people because those states are on a pathway trajectory of like lots of money. Lots of money. Honey, I'm literally going to go see a friend in Raleigh. I'm gonna go see a friend in Charlotte, and every time I come home, I'm like, what is going on with this city? Completely new city. Exactly. Being serious about Atlanta right now, majority of people who are in Atlanta tell me they're moving to Nashville ASAP. Nashville already got $1 million, like the modern farmhouse that I keep talking about, and y'all keep hearing me talk about. That property anywhere, whether I'm in Charlotte, or Nashville, or Austin, it's 400,000 to $500,000, right? But I also want them because I know they Airbnb well, right? I've been looking for a condo in Houston and Nashville and Atlanta for 4 years now. No, I'm gonna lie, I'm really actively 2 years. And you could throw out a bunch of offers. It's gonna be a ton of competition. It just even with cash, you like, hey, I got cash. They're like, girl, it's already gone. What you talking about? So again, the money's being moved. New Yorkers are bringing heavy money. California folks are bringing heavy. You have to understand if I'm leaving California and I'm burning the bridge, I'm like, I'm not coming back. I'm gonna sell the house. I'm gonna sell everything extra, and I'm gonna take that cash and go do what? Put it somewhere new. There's a YouTuber right now, a really great YouTuber. He just bought a place in Puerto Rico. And he told his wife, he's like, we ain't lose nothing. If we don't like it here in a year, we could always go back to California, but I'm not gonna stay right now. We gonna go. Mr. Fantastic, I keep telling y'all Jacksonville, Florida is up next. New subdivisions every couple of months. No state taxes, cheaper than Miami, Orlando. Somebody else is saying that same thing that I've been talking to. And also Jacksonville is #1 for Hispanic owned homes. So like the Hispanic community, that's all over the whole United States, are #1 in home ownership in Jacksonville, Florida. Not San Antonio, Texas, not Houston, Texas, not not anywhere in Texas. #1 is Jacksonville, Florida. Thank you, Mr. Fantastic. Arizona is got already leaning blue. It's too late. Arizona is starting to put up some laws to slow down y'all moving over there, and it's gonna hurt Arizona folk and new Arizona folk. So good luck, Arizona. California, in an ideal world, this what would happen. New York, Chicago, Illinois, And California would be like, man, we are bleeding people. We're bleeding businesses. People are leaving for the past 10 years. Over 3,000 millionaires left Chicago. Over 300,000 middle class Black families. Now, when I say middle class, I'm talking about people who make over upper middle class is what they're talking about. People who are making over 100,000, making over 80,000, leaving Chicago over the past 10 years. What does that mean for those places? In an ideal world, those places would revamp their taxes. They would cut and slash and go here, here, here. New York, if you bring a brand new business to New York, you have an incentive that won't tax you for 10 years. If New York really wanted to keep people, they'd do that for everybody. But they're offering it to new people. Why? Because they're trying to bring people back. They're not offering it to people who already live in New York. They're offering it to new people, right? Just like Vermont was giving $10,000 for people to move to Vermont. Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma was giving people $10,000 to move to Oklahoma. They're trying to recruit people. So common sense would say those cities and states would go bankrupt and start from scratch and let go of all those taxes. New Jersey, prime example. Why does New Jersey not lower its taxes? New Jersey keeps having New Yorkers just move down to New Jersey. So every year, New Jersey realizes their taxes are ridiculous and we can't keep this budget. Millionaires keep threatening us and leaving the state in droves. Young people are leaving the state, no jobs. People, and who moves there? People from Philadelphia move up, Philly move up into New Jersey, which is weird, but they've been having that trend, and people from New York. And that's it. That's the only thing keeping New Jersey up is people escaping New York and escaping Philly. But it's dying. It's bleeding. It's been bleeding. I mean, I've been a little kid in North Carolina, and we just were flooded with New Jersey and New York kids in their Timberland boots with their bad attitudes in class, right? We've been flooded since the 1990s down here. So common sense would say change some laws, change some taxes, but they don't have to, right? Because the government will eventually bail them out. California, ultimately what will happen with California is the homelessness will get worse. They'll try to come up with some campaign to try to get people to stay. If I was in Northern California, I'd want to be separated from the state. I mean, Northern California and Southern California were voted at one point in time to separate from each other and be two states instead of one. But the power and corruption of being a big state like California, you can dictate the elections. They'll never do that, right? Eventually, the Mormons who have heavy financial investment in California, way heavier than y'all ever think in all the elections, they'll have more investment in the future, and they'll change some of those laws. Again, I keep telling y'all, in the future, the Republican Party will be the rebel party. It'll be it'll win local elections and it'll win state elections, but it will never win the presidency again. And people think I'm being dramatic, but I'm really serious. Like, all the culture war stuff will be low level. It will never be a Republican president for another 12 years. It will not. The demographics won't let it. So, take with that what you will. I've gone almost to an hour, so I got to get on out of here. But yeah, the book Upside. Yep. Arizona's already over. It's not even like, that's why I've been laughing. I'm like, nah, Arizona's over. Thank you. Here you go. Dry snitching is a phrase that indirectly telling secrets or offenses to a person of authority or any person meant to be kept away from a secret. So long story short, if you dry snitching, it's like, I'm talking about a guy who's a scammer in Atlanta and he's very popular, but he will never be taken down because he's too smart, and we call him Swaggy Swag on the internet. You can Google that and figure out who I'm talking about, right? They won't. I wanted to move to Nashville, so Al, a lot of people say that yes, they have resources to survive, but the quality of life is poop. And this also is a misnomer. This is a misnomer. California loves putting this out there. It's a misnomer. 45% of our GDP is real estate, healthcare, and construction for the whole country. 6% of those same three is the stock market. Your construction in Texas and Florida is bigger than California. Your healthcare in Texas and Florida is bigger than California. Sorry, it just is. And I get it. It sounds great. It's what California does to say you have to work with us. You have to, because we ain't all this money. But it's not true if you actually dig through it. Yeah, basically. Utah and Denver's been growing for 10 years. Yeah. So anyways, you guys, I gotta get on out of here. But yeah, it is moving. Oh yeah, I'd agree. The moving period, I again, there's reasons for it, but all right, you guys, this is Erica. I gotta go. Have a great day. Thank you guys for the super chats. Thank you for supporting the channel.